They thought this story would stay buried. They thought silence, smiles, and carefully curated photos would keep the illusion alive forever. But tonight, that illusion shattered in the loudest, ugliest, most emotionally violent way possible. Because when Claressa Shields finally stopped protecting secrets, the fallout didn't just shake the internet, it broke a man in real time. What started as a quiet Instagram live turned into a full-blown cultural explosion. No warning, no build-up, just Claressa staring straight into the camera with the calm confidence of someone who knows the truth is about to detonate. And when she spoke, she didn't just tell a story. She exposed everything. Names, dates, messages, deals, betrayals, the kind of revelations that don't just ruin relationships, they end careers. Within minutes, timelines caught fire. Hashtags exploded. Celebrities froze mid-scroll. Fans watched in disbelief as a narrative they thought they understood collapsed piece by piece. And then came the moment no one was ready for. Papoose, the man long celebrated for loyalty, composure, and control, allegedly broke down behind the scenes as the receipts stacked up faster than he could explain them away. Insiders say phones were thrown, voices cracked, and panic set in. Because this wasn't just about cheating rumors or messy love drama. This was about power, money, manipulation, and a woman realizing she had been played while standing at the peak of her own dominance. Claressa didn't cry. She didn't beg. She exposed. And in doing so, she lit a fuse that is still burning. Stay right here, because what she revealed was only the beginning, and what comes next is even uglier. The live didn't start loud. That's what made it terrifying. No music, no intro, no warm-up smile. Just Claressa Shields sitting there, eyes locked, posture straight, breathing slow like she was already in the ring. People who know her said later that look only appears when she's about to end something. And within seconds, viewers knew this wasn't a vent. This was an execution. "I've been quiet long enough," she said, voice steady but razor sharp. "And I'm done protecting people who never protected me." That line alone sent shockwaves through the chat. Thousands poured in instantly. Screenshots started before she even finished the sentence, because everyone knew exactly who she was talking about even before she said his name. Papoose. The internet froze. For years, his image had been ironclad. Loyal, solid, untouchable. A man who stood beside powerful women and never flinched, but Claressa didn't ease into it. She tore the door off the hinges. "I don't post people who betray me," she said flatly. And just like that, the comments went feral. According to sources close to her, this live wasn't impulsive. It was planned, scripted in her head for weeks. Triggered, they say, by something she found that crossed a line so hard there was no coming back. Not flirting, not rumors, something deeper. Something that made her realize she wasn't just being cheated on, she was being used. She started with Miami. A late-night message request from a woman she didn't know. Polite at first, then apologetic, then devastating. The woman claimed she'd been with Papoose at a private, invite-only after-party, not just present, close, intimate, and she didn't just bring words, she brought photos. Claressa didn't show them on live, but she described them in enough detail to make people sick. Papoose leaning in, laughing, hand on the woman's thigh like it belonged there. But Claressa didn't confront him right away. That's what stunned viewers. She investigated. What she claims she found next changed everything. According to Claressa, the messages between Papoose and this woman went back months. Not casual, strategic. Conversations where he allegedly discussed Claressa's career like it was a product he controlled. Sponsorship ideas, appearances, deals all pitched using her name without her consent. And then came the line that made her voice harden on camera. She said he told the woman, "I'll get her to show up. I know how to talk to her." The chat exploded. People screamed betrayal. Bloggers started clipping in real time. Claressa held her phone up to the screen, stopping just short of reading everything. "Lawyers might get involved," she said, "but I'll read this one." And when she repeated that line out loud, the tone shifted from heartbreak to fury. "You think I'm something you can manage," she snapped. "I didn't fight my way to the top to be somebody's pawn." According to insiders, this was the moment Papoose lost control of the narrative. Because what Claressa was alleging wasn't just infidelity. It was exploitation. The idea that he was positioning himself as the architect of her success lit a fuse across both the boxing and hip-hop worlds. And she wasn't done. She claimed she confronted him the next day, not screaming, not crying, just facts. His alleged response: "You're overreacting, I'm just trying to help you make money. This is how the industry works." When she repeated that on live, the chat turned vicious. Fans who had defended him for years went silent. Others switched sides in real time. Then her tone changed. Calm, dangerous. "Miami was just the appetizer," she said, leaning closer to the camera. "New York is where I finally saw who he really was." You could feel the air leave the room. She described being in New York for a high-profile charity event, expecting him to be there. Instead, a trusted friend sent her a message. Papoose had been spotted at an exclusive uptown lounge. Private booth, same woman, or at least another one just like her. Claressa didn't hesitate. She left the event and went straight there. What she claims happened next sounds like a movie scene people are still arguing about online. She walked in, still in full glam, straight to the booth. No greeting, no warning. According to her, Papoose tried to play it cool, telling her she was doing too much. But the room had already turned. Phones were out. Someone was filming. Someone was whispering. Someone was already tagging blogs. And then came the line that broke her. When Claressa asked the woman how long she'd been seeing him, the answer came instantly. Almost a year. But that wasn't the worst part. The woman allegedly said Papoose told her he and Claressa were basically over, just keeping up appearances for publicity. Publicity. That word echoed across social media like a gunshot. Claressa said she felt it hit her like a body blow. "You think I need you for that?" she said on live, shaking her head. "I was a champion before you ever stood next to me." Within hours, videos from the lounge began circulating. Grainy, shaky, but enough. One clip allegedly showed Papoose earlier that night saying, "She's great for TV, but she don't listen. I'm the one making the plays." Whether real or not, the internet decided it was damning. Hashtags flipped. Defenders disappeared. Then Claressa dropped the first true cliffhanger. She said there were voice notes, not rumors, not screenshots, audio, of Papoose allegedly complaining about her being too hard to control and too focused on herself. She paused, let it sit, and then said, "If he comes for me after this, I'll hit play. Live for everybody." The screen flooded. People begged, warned, screamed. She ended the live with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. And as the screen went dark, one truth settled in across the internet. This wasn't a breakup story. This was the opening round of a war, and the next punch was already loaded. The internet didn't calm down after the live ended. It combusted. Overnight, the story mutated from a relationship exposé into a full-blown industry reckoning. Clips from Claressa's live were chopped, slowed down, captioned, and reposted with forensic intensity. Every pause in her voice became evidence. Every eyebrow raise became confirmation. And Papoose, he was nowhere to be found. That silence became its own headline. According to multiple insider accounts that popped up within hours, Papoose was allegedly spiraling behind the scenes. One claimed he was packing, phone glued to his ear, calling anyone who would answer. Another swore he locked himself in a studio room for hours, refusing to come out. True or not, the narrative stuck. The image of the unshakable lyricist cracking under pressure spread faster than any denial ever could. Then the receipts started multiplying. A well-known gossip page dropped what it called context screenshots, alleged messages between Papoose and a third party discussing timing, rollouts, and leveraging momentum. Claressa's name appeared just often enough to raise eyebrows. The page slapped a disclaimer on it, but that didn't matter. The comments decided guilt instantly. "He really thought he was the brains," one comment read, like tens of thousands of times. Another said, "She was the product and didn't even know it." Celebrities jumped in, and that's when the fire turned into an inferno. Cardi B liked a tweet that read, "Never let a man think he built you." Amanda Serrano posted a cryptic story. "Champions don't need handlers." Even people who never comment on drama were suddenly weighing in with vague lines about loyalty and respect. Every post felt like a side being chosen. Papoose finally went live the next night, and it only made things worse. He looked nothing like his usual composed self, hoodie pulled low, eyes tired, voice unsteady. "Y'all don't know the full story," he said, shaking his head. "A lot of things being twisted. Context matters." The phrase "context matters" became a meme before he finished the sentence. Because to the internet, that's what people say when context is the only thing saving them. He denied exploiting Claressa, denied using her name, denied playing manager, but he never directly addressed the voice notes, and that omission screamed louder than any denial. Comments flooded in asking one question over and over again: "Where's the audio?" That's when the anonymous Dropbox link appeared. It started in private group chats, then leaked to Twitter. A low-quality audio file, muffled, distorted. A male voice that sounded eerily like Papoose telling someone, "Once her next fight over, we'll shift the promo to my brand." She had her shine. No verification, no source, but the timing was lethal. Even people who doubted it admitted the damage was done. Because real or fake, it fit the story Claressa had already told. She didn't confirm it. She didn't deny it either. Instead, she posted a 10-second Instagram story of her in the gym, hammering a heavy bag with vicious precision. At the end, she looked into the camera and said one sentence: "Round 2's coming." The internet lost its mind. Was round 2 another live, another drop, another recording? Speculation went nuclear. Insiders claimed Claressa had more than one file. Some said 3, others said 5, each supposedly worse than the last. One rumor suggested a recording where Papoose allegedly admitted he needed her visibility to secure meetings. Another whispered about messages where he talked about phasing her out. No proof, just enough smoke to choke the timeline. Meanwhile, Papoose's circle reportedly began to fracture. According to a source speaking anonymously to a blog, several people distanced themselves quietly, canceling appearances and declining to comment. "Nobody wants to be collateral," the source said. Suddenly, events he was scheduled to attend were postponed for unforeseen circumstances. The optics were brutal. Then came the Remy twist. Out of nowhere, a blog claimed to have received alleged texts from Remy warning Claressa about Papoose months earlier. "Don't underestimate him," one message supposedly read. "He's charming until he's cornered." The internet gasped. If true, it reframed everything. Two women once painted as rivals suddenly looked united by the same experience. Remy never confirmed it, but she didn't deny it either. Her silence felt intentional. By day 3, the story broke out of gossip circles and into mainstream media. Entertainment Tonight, TMZ, ESPN. Talking heads debated not just the drama, but the implications. Stephen A. Smith weighed in, saying, "You don't play games with a champion's name. That's legacy-level foul." The tone shifted. This wasn't just mess. This was reputation. Social media detectives went to work. Travel records, old photos, time stamps. A viral TikTok stitched together clips of Papoose in Miami, Atlanta, and New York over the past year with the caption, "On tour, but not for music." Millions of views. The narrative hardened. Then the temperature changed again. A respected industry blogger dropped a bomb. Claressa had already involved lawyers, not for defamation, for control. According to the Post, Papoose had allegedly attempted to pitch a TV concept using footage from her career labeled "Under My Management." If true, it explained everything: the urgency, the rage, the public line in the sand. Claressa finally spoke again, briefly. One Instagram story, black background, white text. "He won't make a dime off my name ever again." That was it. The finality of it hit like a gavel. And just when people thought the storm couldn't get louder, Claressa posted the image that changed everything. A black and white photo of a USB drive. 2 words in the caption: "It's time." The comment section exploded instantly. "That's the audio. He's finished. Someone check on Papoose." Within minutes, Papoose went live again, frantic this time. "That audio ain't what y'all think," he said. "Context matters, she twisting things." The repetition only made it worse. Screenshots flooded timelines with captions like, "If you gotta explain context, you already lost." Late that night, the Dropbox link resurfaced, this time louder, clearer. "Still unverified. still devastating. The voice said, "She don't listen. After this fight, it's my turn." Whether it was real no longer mattered. The court of public opinion had already reached a verdict. Claressa never claimed responsibility for the leak. Instead, she posted one last story before going dark. A slow-motion clip of her hand hovering over a laptop upload button. One word stamped across the screen. Monday. And with that, the internet collectively held its breath. Because if what she's hinting at actually drops, this won't just be another messy celebrity breakup. It'll be a knockout nobody saw coming, and someone's entire legacy is about to hit the canvas. By Monday morning, the energy wasn't excitement anymore. It was dread. The kind that sits heavy in your chest when everyone knows something is about to happen, but no one knows how bad it's going to be. The internet had counted down the hours like a doomsday clock, refreshing Claressa's page, watching Papoose's silence grow louder by the minute. And then it happened. Not the upload, not yet. First came the breakdown. According to multiple alleged insiders, Papoose was seen leaving a private studio in New York looking completely shattered. No entourage, no phone in hand, head down. One source claimed he sat in his car for nearly an hour before driving off, unmoving, staring straight ahead. Another swore he was overheard saying, "I never thought she'd really do this." Whether true or not, that image spread like wildfire. The unshakable veteran suddenly human, suddenly vulnerable, suddenly losing control of a story that had already slipped out of his hands. Then Claressa broke her silence. Not with audio, not with documents, with a sentence. "I tried to handle this privately. I was forced to defend myself publicly." That was it, but that line detonated everything. Because in that moment, the narrative shifted from messy breakup to moral war. To her supporters, she wasn't dragging him, she was protecting herself. To his defenders, she was escalating something that never needed to go this far. The comments split violently. There was no middle ground left. Behind the scenes, alleged panic set in. A blogger claimed Papoose's camp reached out to multiple platforms asking them to slow down the spread of any unverified audio. Another claimed lawyers were scrambling, not to sue, but to negotiate what could and couldn't be released without crossing legal lines. The word injunction started floating around group chats. No proof, no filings, but the rumor alone sent the internet into a frenzy. And then came the most disturbing twist yet. A new audio clip surfaced, shorter, clearer, and even more chilling. Still unverified, still anonymous. But this time the voice allegedly said, "She thinks she's the star, watch how fast that changes." The clip was up for less than 10 minutes before it vanished. But it didn't matter. Reaction channels had already ripped it. Fans argued over tone, cadence, inflection. Was it really him? Was it AI? Was it a setup? The truth got buried under belief. Claressa did not claim it. She didn't have to. Instead, she posted a video from the gym. No sound, just her hitting the bag again and again. Each punch sharp, measured, relentless. The caption read, "I don't bluff." That was enough to send shockwaves through every corner of social media. Papoose finally spoke, not on live, not on IG, but through a carefully worded statement released to a blog. He denied any intent to exploit, insisted no unauthorized deals were finalized, and claimed private conversations were being misrepresented. The statement was calm, legal, cold, and it landed terribly. Fans tore it apart line by line. Notice what he didn't deny. Why not address the audio directly? Why now? The pressure mounted. Industry figures began quietly choosing sides. Some canceled collaborations. Others posted vague messages about staying out of it, which only made people assume they were staying out of it on purpose. One promoter allegedly backed out of a future appearance citing distractions. Another source claimed a network paused talks on a potential project. Again, unconfirmed. But the damage was visible. Then, just when people thought Claressa would drop the files, she didn't. Instead, she posted a screenshot of a calendar reminder. Red circle. One word written inside it. Closure. That single image caused an emotional meltdown across platforms. Was she backing down? Was she moving on? Or was this her way of saying the damage was already done without ever pressing upload? According to a supposed insider close to Claressa, the decision wasn't about mercy. It was about power. She doesn't need to destroy him, the source claimed. She already won. He knows what she has. True or not, that idea changed the temperature of the entire story. And then came the final gut punch. A respected journalist tweeted, then deleted, a line that froze everyone. Sometimes the worst exposure is knowing someone could end you and choosing not to. Screenshots spread instantly. People connected dots that may or may not have existed, but the conclusion was brutal. Papoose didn't lose because of an audio file. He lost because the public believed one could exist. Claressa returned to training, posted nothing else, said nothing else. The storm slowly began to settle, but not before leaving scorched earth behind it. Fans argued. Comment sections stayed radioactive. Trust was broken. Images were shattered. And hanging over everything was one terrifying truth. If this was her holding back, what would it have looked like if she had? If you're still here right now, don't fool yourself into thinking this story is over. What you just watched was not closure. It was a warning shot. The kind that tells everyone involved the truth is sitting on the table, and the only reason it hasn't exploded yet is because someone is choosing restraint. That choice can change at any moment. This is exactly how stories like this disappear. Not with answers, but with exhaustion. People stop refreshing. The algorithms move on. And suddenly, the loudest questions get buried under silence and spin. That's what always happens when things get uncomfortable for the wrong people. Don't let that happen here. If you believe Claressa didn't speak up for no reason, if you felt that shift when the narrative flipped and the power dynamics changed, then staying engaged actually matters. Hitting like keeps this conversation visible when others want it forgotten. Commenting forces accountability into the record. Subscribing means you won't miss the moment this story moves again, because it will. And make no mistake, it will. Whether it's a statement, a receipt, a reaction, or someone finally breaking ranks, this situation is still volatile. The silence isn't peace, it's pressure. And pressure always finds a release. People will tell you to move on, to stop speculating, to let it go. That's always the advice right before the truth gets rewritten. So stay locked in, stay watching, because when the next development hits, and it will, you'll either be part of the conversation or catching up after the damage is already done.